and he spent 34 years as a Navy SEAL. R.J. Casey jumps out of planes and does whatever it takes to go in and rescue Air Force fighter pilots shot down behind enemy lines. On this day, the two real-life superheroes had a tedious task, placing the corals harvested by the Florida Aquarium, Frost Museum, and Seacorps International in just the spot picked by the University of Miami team for placement.
Force Blue's mission to continue to serve is very important to us because it allows us to do that, to serve our country, to serve our planet, and a continued effort to care for it.
The work is being done south and east of the shoreline, about 11 miles from the port of Miami.
Our University of Miami Rodent Seal School is going to spearhead this large-scale restoration project.
So on the dive today, the researchers from the University of Miami and the veterans that are out here with us, they're looking to double the size of the coral reef from 50 yards to 100 yards. One by one, the locations are selected. The UM team puts a clump of cement on the ocean floor, and the veteran places the coral on top. The process repeated over and over.
Our Florida's coral reef are so important to our livelihoods, whether it's coastal protection, food on our tables, or jobs for our neighbors. This is an economic driver that sustains us.
The restoration of this reef began when the Super Bowl was at Hard Rock Stadium last year. Now, the underwater 100 Yards of Hope project grows as the NFL picks the Florida Sunshine and Waters to host again.
What we do today could actually impact how we restore the future of these coral reefs.
In the Atlantic, Willard Shepard, NBC 6 News.
Such an important mission. All right, thank you, Willard. And that will do it for NBC 6 News at 4:30, but don't go anywhere. The news at 5 starts right now with some new faces.
Live, the news on NBC 6 today at 5 starts now.
Good morning, South Florida. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Constance Jones.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kris Anderson, and you probably guessed it. We're those two new faces that Johnny was just talking about. Had a little bit of an introduction on Friday.
We
I'll
did.
let you go first.
We
Tell
did.
us about yourself.
So you guys who don't know, my name is Constance. I've worked in this market for a while. I'm the veteran. I think that's what they called me. Made me feel a little old in the introduction, but I've worked in this market for about 10 years as a journalist. I'm so happy to be back home in South Florida. And you are originally from here.
Born and raised in Miami, South Florida. Grew up here, graduated from Miami Central Senior High School. Go Rockets and FIU. Go Panthers. So back home, I've been working in Boston the past 7 years, and so excited to be back home in South Florida, as I know you are as well, and looking forward to being a part of everyone's morning.
I think we're both excited because we both missed the snow this weekend.
Did. And missed as in we weren't there for it. Not that we're missing it like we wish we were there.
And speaking of the weather and the cold temperatures, let's talk to our meteorologist, Adam, standing by with the details. And where did winter go? Because it was cooler last week.
Humid.
It's amazing, and it's all about the wind direction here in South Florida. It really is. You get a north and northwest wind. You feel the chill, right, especially in the morning. And then those winds switch around to the southeast. It pulls that humidity in on top of the temperatures warming, and that's what we've got. You know what else we've got on top of the temperatures warming and the humidity bouncing a bit? We've got some patchy fog in spots here. This is a look at all of South Florida. You don't see any numbers that jump out as being too terribly tough. But once you zoom into Miami-Dade, you find a few other spots. Although we continue to improve here. This is good news. Literally just 15 minutes ago, we were talking about visibility in Homestead under a mile. So we'll continue dipping in on these neighborhoods and seeing how the visibility is looking, because you don't want that this morning, especially on a Monday, right? So far, though, so good. We'll watch for some of that patchy fog, though, here and there. Let's go ahead and zoom into your first alert Doppler 6000. Couple of showers here. You can see them moving southwest to northeast. You almost have to squint to see a few of these around Hallandale Beach, Pembroke Pines, and these extend all the way down in towards Country Club, Miami Lake, seeing a light shower as well. We zoom up and out. We see more where that came from to the west of us. The trajectory, though, I think is going to keep most of this north of Country Walk. So we'll watch Kendall Lakes up towards Doral and points north for a few more of these showers here working in this morning. Not going to be a washout, but we'll keep those rain chances around 30%. 30% or so. Here's Future Tracker showing some of these spotty showers, and everything's going to start lifting to the north here. We may pop a shower, a thunderstorm again this afternoon, but I think the trend as we go through the day, and especially in tomorrow, is going to be pushing these showers north here. So we'll keep those rain chances around 20 to 30% today. Highs right around 82. Yes, it's on the warm side, and with that humidity, look at this, Kel, feeling like 87 degrees.
Back to normal, it seems. All right, South Florida, good morning to you. Hope you had a safe and great weekend. Taking a look at your drive, this is I-95. Your northbound and your southbound lanes right around Cypress Creek Road. No issues or delays in the 954. As far as I-95 in Miami-Dade, right now we do have a crash on I-95 northbound on those express lanes, which you really don't need to be taking at this time because it's going to take you 6 minutes to get from the Golden Glades to the Airport Expressway. If you do take those express lanes right now, right around Northwest 151st Street on those northbound lanes, that's where you'll want to stick to your right-hand side. You'll have a left lane blocked off. Back to you guys on the studio, and welcome.
All right, that's the sound of a Buccaneers victory. The fans hit the streets of Tampa last night after Tom Brady led the team to a 31-9 win over Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. This will be Brady's first ring outside of New England and his 7th ring in his 20-year NFL career. And to top it all off, fans got to celebrate their team's win in their own home stadium. This is a first for NFL history.
Not bad for a 6th-round draft pick, right, who wasn't supposed to make it. 7 rings for TB12. Here's NBC6 sports reporters Ruthie Polensky and Jorge Andres with a closer look at last night's big game.
Constance and Kris, good morning, and so glad to be with you on this Monday. I think we were all very surprised to see the lopsided blowout game that we saw last night in Super Bowl 55.
Yeah, there were plenty of storylines going into this one. Would Tom Brady get his 7th ring? Would Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs run it back and become that first team to do it since 2003?
Well, it was Tom Brady's night, throwing a pair of touchdowns to who else but Rob Gronkowski. Everyone doing their part. The Bucs defense preventing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs from finding the end zone. So in his 10th Super Bowl appearance, Tom Brady solidifies his campaign as the greatest of all time, his 7th Super Bowl championship, and a 5-time Super Bowl MVP.
Everything we dealt with all year, we had a rough month in November, but VA had all the confidence in us. The team had a lot of confidence. We came together at the right time. I think we knew this was going to happen tonight, didn't we? We ended up playing our best game of the year.
Tampa Bay winning their first Super Bowl since the 2002 season. Truly incredible. I think there was a certain quarterback that had a little something to do with that.
It certainly was incredible. And give credit also to Todd Bowles and that defensive unit, able to hold Patrick Mahomes with all those weapons he had. But I do have to mention this. There was an incident that happened on Thursday dealing with Britt Reed, Andy Reid's son, the linebacker coach. He was involved in a car accident with 2 other cars, 2 children inside, both of them sent to the hospital. One of them in critical condition. That had to be in the back of Andy Reid's head. He was the play caller. You can't say that that wasn't. So it would be interesting to see how much that actually played into it. But I don't want to take credit away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and that defense and that amazing duo of Gronk and Brady.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a game that will motivate the Chiefs in the coming years. There's no doubt that we will be seeing them back on that Super Bowl stage very soon. And yes, Tom Brady did say that he will be back on the field next year. He's going to be just a fresh 44 years old. Constance and Kris, back over to you.
All right, Ruth, thanks, guys. And this morning on the Today Show, they are live from Tampa Bay after the Buccaneers capped off the strangest season in pro football history Sunday night by staging a familiar scene, Tom Brady hoisting the Vince Lombardi trophy. He will now be fitted with his 7th championship ring.
All right, Constance, I want to change gears now. It is a big week in Washington, D.C. Former President Trump's impeachment trial starts tomorrow, and Democrats start laying out what COVID relief will look like, including new payments for parents. NBC6 Washington correspondent Tracy Potts joins us from Washington, D.C., breaking it all down for us this morning.
Johnny, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Here's where we are in Washington this week. The Senate, of course, staying in town for the impeachment trial starting tomorrow. But some members of the House are leaving their leadership to work out details on COVID relief.
Recovery package, but
Democrats are preparing to vote on COVID relief in 2 weeks, including stimulus payments. In an interview with CBS Evening News, President Biden said the payments will phase out based on income.
It's somewhere between an individual making up to 75 and phasing out and a couple making up to 150 and phasing out. But again, I'm wide open on what that is.
The president admits this bill will not raise the minimum wage, but Democrats are planning to add new child payments up to $3,600 paid monthly starting in July. Republicans argue the $1.9 trillion plan costs too much.
Sometimes a cure is worse than a disease.
Stimulus talks continue as the Senate prepares for the Trump impeachment trial to begin tomorrow.
I think this is a very bad idea. 45 plus Republicans are going to vote early on that it's unconstitutional.
A handful of Republicans say they'll be impartial jurors.
I'm going to listen to the arguments on both sides and make the decision that I think is right.
Those arguments may or may not include witnesses.
There will already be over 100 witnesses present, and those will be the House and Senate members.
But getting 17 Republicans to convict still seems unlikely. Senate Democrats say they'll leave it up to the House managers, the prosecutors in this trial, whether there's a need to call witnesses. And so far, the managers have not said if they will. I'm Tracy Potts, NBC6 News.
The latest now on the coronavirus pandemic for you this morning. The Department of Health added more than 6,600 new infections in the past 24 hours alone. The agency also reported 97 more COVID-related deaths among Florida residents. The positivity rate still stands at about 6.82%, which is slightly higher than the day before, but it's also the third day in a row that the positivity rate for new cases has fallen below 7%.
And thousands of Floridians were vaccinated over the weekend, and more will be given the shot in the coming days.
We'll have the latest vaccination numbers for you in Florida right now, where more than 1,326,000 people have had their first dose. Close to 668,000 people in Florida have been fully vaccinated, meaning they got both doses. Florida lawmakers now say pharmacies in both Miami-Dade and Broward counties can expect a shipment of vaccines in the coming week.
And NBC6 reporter Julie Leonardi is live at Hard Rock Stadium with a look at what's ahead this week. Julie.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. Well, so many people were vaccinated over the weekend, and those numbers just expected to rise here in Florida, which is welcome news for so many patiently waiting for their first dose. The state lawmakers have just announced as part of their federal retail pharmacy program, Walmart and Sam's Club pharmacies in the state are expected to ship 1 million doses this week, and vaccinations are expected to start on Thursday. Now, 6,500 pharmacies nationwide will be getting the shipment. The program aims to speed up vaccine distribution and eventually expand to 40,000 pharmacies. But it won't be as easy as walking in and getting a flu shot. You'll need to make an appointment if you're eligible, and you can be able to call instead of just booking through an online process. But the online tool is scheduled via pharmacies, is expected to launch within the coming days. Now, top health officials saying although many need to be patient with this process, most should have success now, if not very soon.
Things are going to get better as we get from February into March into April, because the number of vaccine doses that will be available will increase substantially.
And the vaccinations continue this week to those who need it the most. 700 independent and assisted living residents at John Knox Village in Pompano Beach, along with staff, will receive their first dose of the vaccine tomorrow. Events are happening across the area for hundreds of seniors to get their vaccinations. More on the process of that and potential more events like that will be popping up around the area. But for now, I'm live this morning in Miami Gardens. Julie Leonardi, NBC6 News.
It is 5:12 this Monday morning. Police need your help finding a possibly endangered 16-year-old who's been missing since yesterday. I need you to take a good look at your screen right there. They say this is 16-year-old Marie Falconer. The teen was last seen leaving her home from Southwest 212th Street and 120th Avenue in Miami. She is
massive snowstorm. After the break, we take a closer look at this wintry mess.